I am in the life phase where everyone is very focused on their kids and their families. I value this as well, but also value friends to nourish the soul. What could be some clever ways to meet new people within the current space of regular living and busy family schedules? A couple of things come to mind, actually. I think depending upon where it is that you live. So if you're living in Southern California, you're living in a pocket in a community that has a lot of awakened beings, a lot of people that are on the journey. I would say go out to a coffee shop that you know has more of a spiritual theme. Go to places, maybe it's to a particular beach or it's a particular place that you know has others there, especially if you don't have anyone that you can take with you. Go with a really open perspective of, I want to meet new people, and then go there with that. Now, if you're not in Southern California, which I suspect many of you are not, I would still recommend doing that same thing. There is probably somewhere, and when I say spiritual, I don't mean Christianity, I don't mean organized religion. I mean spirit-full places where there's other like-minded people. And if you have to go by yourself, as I said, even better almost in many respects, because then we're putting ourselves in a position to have to ask questions, open conversation, be vulnerable. And so that's going to help open up new opportunities, and it's going to help open up you, because it's so easy for us, myself included, to just get really ingrained in these patterns of what we do in our daily lives, where we go, what we eat, who we talk to. And when we expand and open to new possibilities, which is meeting someone new out on the street or out in a coffee shop, even better. Now, I want to take the emphasis off of anything having to do with spirituality for a second, because there may be people who are, in the middle of some place that just doesn't have anything that's more progressive in spiritual concepts or expansion of consciousness. And so I would say there, you've got some really great opportunity to bring your light and love out into the community in a different way. And that you still go to the coffee shops, but you bring a little bit different approach to it. And maybe there's just something that you want to take out there, something you've been studying, something you've learned, a new concept, and you just go out into the community and you bring up this idea with an open mind, not trying to find another friend or, comrade in the journey, which you may and most likely will, but not with that expectation, to see what can I bring out into this. I guess the word stale comes to mind, but I don't really mean it like that. I just mean that, sometimes that energy can feel really stale when you're bringing newer ideas into a flat consciousness, a place where the ideations are just really locked in and people don't vary from that, because that often happens. Look, I grew up in a small town many, many years ago. And I know now, as I look back, how ingrained everybody was about, what the rules are, the guidelines are, the belief systems are. And you follow that narrative until you break out and you go to another community, go, oh, well, they don't do anything like that. They don't see it that way at all. Right. And so the more we travel and we go global and we go to different parts of the world and we get exposed to different types of thinking, we realize that these really are just ideations and thought constructs that someone infused into a culture, into a place that everybody just believes because that's just the way it's always been. So take your new ideas, your new concepts out into the world and find a way to just gently infuse them and ask others, like, hey, here's what I've been thinking about. What do you think about this? Right? And it's just some random stranger, maybe on the street, maybe someone you stopped at a stoplight with, and you're waiting to cross the road. We never know when the time is right to be planting more seeds, to break open some very hard constructs about how the world works. And I think we're all here as awakened beings to really break through with our light and to show others that there are different ways of thinking and being. With that said, it also prompts me to say that is what the Awaken Inner Wisdom community membership is all about, is bringing like-minded souls together for us to be able to have high conscious conversations, to feel like we're part of a group, and to be able to express ourselves in an atmosphere where judgment is not the foundation. Because I feel out in society, a lot of times judgment, do you fit in or not fit in? Do you believe what I believe or not? That's really prevalent, especially right now with everything that's going on. So hopefully that's helpful. I would love to see you in the Awaken Inner Wisdom membership if that calls to you, especially the person asking this question, because it's definitely a thing for a lot of awakened beings right now to find more tribe members that they feel see them and accept them and are helping to boost their light as opposed to dampen their light, which is also something that is happening at this time. I so appreciate all the questions that you guys submit each week. I love answering them. I love giving insights. And I do encourage you to apply for the Awaken Inner Wisdom membership. But more importantly, perhaps, is if you haven't done the State of the Heart assessment, please do. There's a link down below, and it's bethbell.me. You can fill out your State of the Heart. The assessment will give you very specific results to which stage of the heart you are in. And also some tips, tools, and techniques will come your way over time in the emails. And we'll learn more about you, and you'll learn more about me, and we can support one another in such a beautiful way. Now, if you're also interested in going deeper in some of the concepts that I talk about, there's great stories, transformational storytelling in angels, herpes, and psychedelics. There's also the Awakening and Healing Handbook, which is filled with a plethora of different tips, tools, techniques. And there's also the Psychedelic Resource Guide. So if you know of someone who may be interested in plant-based medicines, spiritual medicines, and looking for information and insights, it's an incredible guide to help you, the Psychedelic Resource Guide. And also the Herpes Handbook. So it's obviously about herpes, but it's also about viruses of the mind. So I would highly encourage you, if you know someone or maybe you meet someone, I know that handbook will give you lots of information that will be very helpful in navigating how to open up difficult conversations around lots of mind viruses, not just herpes. So please don't hesitate to go check that out on bethbell.me. All right. I so appreciate you. Please put comments in the, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. And if you want something a little more private, you can go to bethbell.me/question and enter your question there. All right. Until next week, Sundays, 11:11, I'm wishing you much bliss and love on the journey. Namaste.